Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today it's, well, festival's up now. It's the Zendikar World Tour. Actually, these are supposed to be up later. They're not supposed to be up this early, but, well, they're up now. If I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to be delayed, but it looks like they got it working properly this time. Anyway, so here we have the Zendikar World Tour. So it's a series of pre-constructed decks from very different pre-constructed decks at that. For example, the Relics of Yesteryear deck has cards from all over. We got cards from Jumpstart, we got cards from Historic, got we even got both Ugins. So so we actually have quite a bit of stuff here. So this one's the colorless deck. So basically each deck is flavorfully themed around a certain spot of Zendikar. So here it's a look at all the different relics. So supposedly, well, we do have Hedrons, so that counts. That said, we do have Hedrons. We do have the Forsaken Monument. This particular deck is pretty much reliant on dropping your spells early, hoping to hit that large Ugin or that larger Ugin. Actually, it's pretty much just about the Ugins, because as far as creatures go, this one is, well, pretty light. You're not exactly gonna win with Lightning Core Excavators, Sorcerer's Brooms. A large Skysclave Sentinel, definitely. Forgotten Sentinel's kind of fine. Well, the +2/+2 buff is gonna be relevant here, so... But we'll see if we actually get that big. But there are many other decks as well. So we have the blue-black for recommended haunts. Yeah, it's more of a play on words, but it's otherwise a graveyard-style deck. So it's about filling up your graveyard, buying stuff back with Null Priest of Oblivion, Agadeem's Awakening. Actually, those are the only two cards that buy stuff back. Oh yeah, Inscription of Ruin also buys stuff back. And you can use it to buy stuff like, say, a cheap Glasspool Mimic. Sir Conrad also benefits from the mill. It's not the typical Rogue's Mill deck, so it's going to be quite interesting. We have the Seagates Renaissance, so this is the blue-red spells deck, and it's pretty much about casting. It's actually more about card draw, so we got lots of ways of churning through cards like Fisher Wizard, Cathartic Reunion, Thirst for Meaning. It's really meant to benefit the Ominous Seas, Riel the Everwise. Kind of missed the Pyro channel and the Channeled Force, although Channeled Force deals damage to creatures. So our main kill is really the Nadir Kraken, Riel. Okay, I'm legitimately confused. Well, Ominous Seas, this is pretty much our other win con. At least it's not easy to remove that one. For those who want a more typical deck, we have the Shatter Skull Rocks complete with Companion Zirda. So it's really about hitting high mana to drop either really big things or drop really big spells. Like Royal Eruption for 7, that's a big one. We also have Radha, which you can pump. We actually have more Zirdas on the board. It's really about abusing this Ironcrag feat. So we have many ways to abuse it. Like I mentioned, there's the Royal Eruption. That's a big way to abuse. We have the Yadaro Wandering Monster. Volcanic Salvo, I've always been questionable about this, but we probably will be able to abuse it. Chromatic Orrery is actually more to abuse Radha, but also abuse our big removal spells at that. We also have a Hellkite Punisher's emergency 5th creature. This does have some enchantment artifact removal, so at least we get that benefit there. And there's also the huge Crawling Barons. Then, for those who are more sociable, for those who want the party life, we have the Social Hour. It actually has all 4 party types. We have our Clerics, Warriors, Rogues, more Rogues, and we actually have Wizards. The Ironcrag Pyromancer is actually here, so it's really about cycling to draw that second card, so that's actually quite good. We have a few copies of Zenith Flare. And otherwise, it's really about getting the Outlaw's Merriment or Journey to Oblivion. Then there's the Coordinated Charge for the final win. Then, for those who want to do a little bit of exploring, there's the Lost Skyclave. So this is actually Knights and +1/+1 counters. and lots of. It's really more of a Knights deck, but there is a +1/+1 counter team. There is a subhuman team, at least with our early creatures. Yeah, the +1/+1 counter team's really for boss trees to 10. That's not bad. Drana's also a very good fit there. There's some equipment in Maul of the Skyclapes, always very good. And there's always a Circle of Loyalty if you need more more knights. Then for those who want to go on the wild side, so this one is also +1/+1 counters. But we get weird shenanigans like throwing a Divine Arrow at your own Stormwild Caprador or taking advantage of fight. That's actually a very good way to abuse the Stormwild. But it's really about getting all those fights or getting these really big creatures like a Titanot Rex. Though we're more likely to cycle this. But having a free trample counter is not bad. Core Blade Master, but no equipment. So this one's gonna be a bit weird. It's literally just a 1/1 double strike. Inscription of Abundance is quite good for this though. Also 4 Conclave Mentors. So those are the different decks. I'm going to probably gonna cash in. We get to change decks if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let's see. Change decks whenever you choose. Good. So we're gonna go through these. We're gonna go through these decks at least once. And we're gonna see how it goes. We'll see if we can get our 4 wins, get our shiny art cosmetics. So first off, we're testing out the blue-black reanimate mill deck. And right off the bat, at least our lands are set. We get to do Archfiend's Vessel turn 1. We can Glasspool Mimic. The Gourmand, it's a bit on the late, but we'll go with this one. I don't exactly want to copy Archfiend's Vessel. We'll see if we can hit better creatures. But at least we're not in such a rush right now. Oh, there's a Venomous Hierophant, but we might have to... So I'm just gonna swing and I'm gonna swing anyway. Just get some early damage through. We have the Inscription of Ruin if we need to. I do kind of want to save it for when our opponent inevitably kills this. So let's see. This is white-green if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, white-green. There's a Conclave Mentor. We've got our Null Priest, so we can kind of trade. Okay, need to make some decisions here. I'm more inclined to just drop this so we can, just to get our guaranteed 4th mana. There's the Menace Lifelink from this one. I can just hold this back for now. We're not... This does have quite a bit to fight, so we probably will lose the Archfiend's Vessel. But if we're able to flip... Okay, also hit an Atris. So... At least the Hierophant is Death Touch, so that's something to consider. I kind of want to hit the Atris first. And we can also just destroy target creature, so we don't have to... Okay, opponent's giving us the Vessel and the Temple of Deceit. We do want the lands because we do want to hit 6 mana, so I'm actually going to take the 2 cards. We are going to end up discarding Sir Conrad, that's fine. So no attacks. So next turn, Temple of Deceit. We can't buy back Sir Conrad, but yeah, that was not the plan. Ironically, if we opted to ditch these 2 cards, we would have been able to buy back next turn. I will take the hit. Actually, we are close to 6 mana. This is 7 mana. This is a long way off. Sorcery speed though, so... No blocks. Let's say our opponent drops something like this. We did hit an Agadeem's Awakening, but we'll save that for later. Kinda want to hit a land. Oh, okay, that counts as a land. So we're swinging with Atris because Can't be. This one can't be blocked. Nice. So we can drop. We're actually having multiple options here. I want to drop the Archfiend's Vessel. Venomous Inscription of Ruin. Before things get out of hand, I'm going to snipe the Stormwild Capridor. Making our opponent discard 2 cards is also a possibility, but I'm gonna go for this one for now. I don't think our opponent's inclined. Also because I suspect our opponent has that card. So I'm inclined to block the. I'm gonna save the other Archfiend's Vessel because I will have mana for Gormand. Opponent taking damage. I know they have big fight creatures. Kogla is one of them, though. They do have a fight creature at 5 mana, if I'm not mistaken. I can take 6, but I can also just do the smart thing and just take. Opponent's thinking about using a fight effect, like say fight this one. Well, if our opponent does a fight, it kills the Blade Master, so it's probably a... Oh no. Okay, that's fine too. We save some damage there. We take a big hit here. This is gonna be bad. I can just play Venomous Hierophant for now, but we're going to hold on. I have to decide. I can cast Null Priest of Oblivion, get myself a 5/5, get myself a Menace Life Link. I kind of want to save this for Sir Conrad, which is a 5/4. But let's start by sacking this, dome the number of creatures a bit. I do want to get Null Priest dead soon so that I can do the, well, not quite 1, 2, 3. In fact, I'd want one more mana for 1, 2, 3, 4. Opponent probably has more fight, which will be a problem. Also, this one's gonna give our opponent quite a bit of life. If it's another Inscription of Ruin, we probably lost this one. Opponent eschewing the... Okay, opponent not going for it. So we're gonna go for the kick. But we're going to kick into... Sir Conrad's the one I want to do. But deep inside, I know I should be getting back on. No, we'll go Sir Conrad. I'm gonna save this one. So we kind of have blockers, so I'm gonna swing ahead with Gormand. Probably gonna lose this one again. That's no way. Opponent cycles the Titanout Rex to give this one trample. Draws a card. Takes a hit. Oh yeah, because Sir Conrad. So the catch now is, thankfully there are no Ram Trues. That would have been a really big bummer. But now we have to. Opponent goes Aura and Refuse. Puts it there to make it 7/7. So we're forced to double block. And probably lose to a combat trick. Though if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Inscription is instant, so can't. I have to do this. I can't just hold back. If our opponent has a kill spell, so be it. Opponent does not have a kill spell, so they gain life. We get to ding our opponent a little bit to negate it slightly. So next turn we have Venomous Hierophant. Play the Archfiend's. Opponent probably should have played that earlier. Okay, hold on. Still holding Agadeem's Awakening. I am very likely to just... Yeah, in fact, we have the 1-2. I can let Ira die to get the 1-2-3. So... If I can hit one more mana, I'd like to hit the 1-2-3-4, but that's way too greedy. So... Opponent should suspect that I have Agony. Well, it depends. Usually paying attention to what the other card decks lists have is a good thing. Thankfully, our opponent can snipe the Gormand. It wouldn't have mattered which one I blocked with, but... Yeah, Description of Abundance, gives me life. But at least we get rid of the Oran Reef Ooze, so I'm fine with that. Oh, there we go. So in a War of Attrition, we kind of win. So... So 1, 2, 3. I'm so glad the mana worked out here. And I don't... And yeah, that's it. That's it. We got our first win. Agadeem's Awakening, very good. And as far as this deck goes, we never got used to Venomous Hierophant, but that would have given us more gas. It's pretty much a case of you don't drop it unless you absolutely need to. And there you go. First blood. Let's switch over to the next deck. The deck this is very sus. That's kind of what they all say nowadays. I'm not a real fan of this one. It's really a lot of ramp and hoping your opponent can't answer one of either of these. In fact, I think 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only one of each Planeswalker, so I'll have to mull aggressively just to make sure I get it. We'll see. It looks cool on paper. Well, I guess it's not really just the 7 drops. There's also the 5 mana legendary artifact. As long as we're not up against green, any deck with green, we should be fine in terms of getting those artifacts to stick. So 2 lands for... We can buy some time. I kind of want more mana. We can just throw these brooms away for some time. I'll keep this for now. We're not exactly giving this deck the best chance, but it's still something. Basically, we need to hit 4 mana. Opponent is on the White Black Knights deck, so we might be in trouble. Yeah, we are in trouble now. Unless we can hit that 1 more mana just to get this Unstable Obelisk. A Mind Stone is fine too. In fact, Mind Stone, Guardian Idol. We could have used more of those cards. Not these. The Forgotten Sentinel's big enough, I suppose. And I am willing to just trade the Broom for the Venerable Knight, assuming our opponent doesn't play another Knight first. Spirit Takedown. That's actually fine. Okay, we did hit our 3rd land, so time to go into overdrive mana mode. We'll see if our opponent can catch up. Being on the play really helps this deck. Our opponent being... Well, they're not stuck on mana. They're kind of stuck on tempo because of having to play Fabled Passive. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 for Hedron Archive. Play another Sorcerer's Broom. It's literally just another blocker. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. I can tap it down for 5 and for 2. Or I can tap it down for 4 and for 4. So like 4 and 4, this is okay. Now we just need the proper payoff. We can sack some DC on our... Opponent really not a fan of cleaning. So more damage here. Yeah, I'm more likely to just play. Okay, we got the cryptic cage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can play this for 5. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4. So next turn we cast Hedron Archive, then sack a Hedron Archive to start drawing cards. We really need to hit those big guns. So when it has a drawn at the last blood sheet, we're taking another. Yeah, this might be a bit too late for us. So also note we can. So can't play that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We can actually activate this, but we basically give it up. So also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not enough for this. We probably will have to sack the Unstable Obelisk sometime soon. I'm gonna hold this back. Opponent not getting anything back from their graveyard, so all of the Skyclaves probably put very smart, splitting the love. Another Venerable Knight. So we want to snipe the Drana first. Opponent thinking if they want to start getting stuff back. So I also kind of want to draw more cards too. So we'll see if we have enough. Like I can actually pay 1 to start sacking these, but let's also start putting counters on this. Decline. Then. Okay, there's a Skyclave Sentinel. We'll take that. So first, Zalfirian Void. Scry into another Forgotten Sentinel. We kind of want something else. So first we cast and kick. Gives us 6/7. I want to cast this now, but this is 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I need the mana, so we're gonna pass. So our opponent had a slower start. Opponent is also starting to run out of cards. So yeah, we got the engine going, but we are nowhere out of danger quite yet. At least we can block one of these, then we can just start spending Obelisk, Gospel's Lieutenant. Let's see which creature he puts the counter on. So we managed to blank that. Next turn we will get another card draw off the Forgotten Sentinel. Okay, got another Forsaken Monument, but these are legendary, so that's a no-go. So cast another Forgotten Sentinel just to draw. No, now we need to actually draw cards, so yeah, we're not gonna have enough mana. Okay, draw some cards. Can't cast this. We can cast this. Then spend the mana off the Cryptic Caves. Hit another land. Kinda tempted to just cast this again, but no, we're gonna cast the Roving Keep and start going from there. We're also gonna. I'm also tempted to start swinging with the Forgotten Sentinel, but it just boosts this one. Hold on. 5, 6. Yeah, we're going for it. We need our opponent to start giving up their board presence now, so we have to start shucking these. This is 3 damage to any target, so it puts the Venerable Knight out of position. But that's not really my main concern. I'm now... If our opponent snipes this, okay, that's our main concern now. So... But our life total is kind of safe already. So we will snipe... We will use the Obelisk to snipe the Venerable Knight. Probably swing first though. In fact, yeah, we're also gonna buff this Crawling Barrens as we can. Decline. Hit a Mind Stone, that's perfect. So, some more card draw here. So... It's 5 mana to trigger this. I'm actually gonna just destroy them all, the Skyclave. Hit the Reliquary Tower. So I'm gonna swing with just one again. Opponent wants to start spreading the love so he can get additional knights. Okay, it also puts that out of range, so... But I'm okay with trading. Sort of trading. Felidar retreat, but no land, so we're good on that. We're solid on that one. And got another Forgotten Sentinel and also a Roving Keep. We're now gonna swing with both of these. It's just taking it like a champ. Yeah, you know what? My first impression is wrong. Okay, so now we got these large creatures now. Opponent is using the +1/+1 counter route. Good news is we have a Roving Keep that can block these. We want to prioritize boss. No, we prioritize the Murderous Rider. We can snipe that. No, opponent just concedes there. Whew! We managed to... You know what? I'm now concerned about the white-black deck. We were able to run away with it. So, yeah, there you go. Second win. Let's keep going. So next up, Seagate's Renaissance. We'll see how that turns out. Whew. Well, my first impression about the colorless deck was really wrong. It's actually very... Well, it's good, but there are... And we did not even have to get a single Ugin out of it. That said, we needed to have a series of very fortunate events. So, yeah, we're gonna do... I'm definitely gonna do Awakening turn 1. Prep for Jawari Disruption, hold up Disruption turn 2. Yeah, this is really dependent on card draw. It's very possible I'm gonna play this deck wrong. So we need to remember it's focused on Riel. It's focused on drawing a lot of cards. We did not have the Ominous Seas. Actually, that's something to consider. It may mean I would actually rather have the Valakut Awakening. Well, opponent does have the big mana deck, so this Jawari Disruption is going to be very important. So critical mana counts are... Okay, opponent has a Mind Stone, so the critical mana count now is 4. Bad news is, as soon as I counter the first one, I will have nothing to counter. Oh wait, I will have something to counter the second one. So we're aiming to counter the Forgotten Forsaken Monument or any Hedron Archives. There's an unstable obelisk. We have to let that go. I think our opponent is smart enough to not leave us up. Okay, that's can't do anything about that. We didn't have the turn to Ominous Seas. That's probably one thing we should have mulliganed into. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have Jawari Disruption, but Forgotten Sentinel's actually fine. Okay, so we have Inscription of Insight if we need to, though I would really prefer not to spend it this way. Wow, we're actually not doing anything. This is usually the biggest concern with. So, opponent's at 7 mana. Gonna take a hit. See what our opponent does next. Dreamstone Hedron. Gonna buy ourselves a little time, although it's probably bad. Well, we're not gonna be able to counter the next Forsaken Monument anyway, so might as well just go all out and counter that. There's a Teferi's Ageless Insight. There's also a Fissure Wizard. I'm gonna play a Fissure. We're gonna play a Fissure Wizard first. Yeah, sure. Discard the Fissure Wizard. Draw a card. Good turn. So we kinda have an answer to the Forgotten Sentinel. It's a very bad one though. Opponent goes Ugin the Ineffable. Let's see. Just most likely just puts a creature on board. Yep. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could just kick, I suppose. We'll take the hit. End of turn, we Sorcerer's Broom. Oh yeah, these are called. Oh wow, yeah, I forgot. These have a discount now. And a Skyclave for 1. Okay, we're not getting through to that one. Yeah, we're way short on mana for this. I just played the land, so Thirst for Meaning is not going to be a great one. Yeah, so yeah, opponent very smart, played around the Jawari Disruption. That's another Forgotten Sentinel. I think we only have another one of these, so we're not gonna get the get out of jail free card next time. Yeah, landing an Ugin is usually good game. So we have a Riel. So what's this? Yeah, the Teferi Ageless Insight is really a win more if you ask me. I don't really like it. We did draw the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to play this one. We're probably still dead anyway. Like we're taking 4 to... And our opponent could just use this one to remove.
My plans do not include you.
So as far as the blue-red deck is concerned, yeah, let's be honest. We didn't give it a fair shake. We did not play to its strength, which is Ominous Seas. I will note, however, This is literally its only strength, Ominous Seas. And the Deer Kraken, so that's 3, 4, 6. A Storm's Wrath would have helped us there, but with only 2 copies. And with many dead cards like Ageless Insight, Double Vision, these are extremely win more. Yeah, this is probably not where I want to be. It's a very good team, but and you're playing Channeled Force when you probably should be playing Experimental Overload, the one that creates a creature token and gets one of your spells back. That's much more helpful here. So, but there we go for that one. Let's try the green-red one next. So far, so, but otherwise, at least I've identified one deck that is really good. I would not be surprised if I see more of the colorless deck. It's kind of what happens when you put a lot of when you put a lot of historic cards in this against other decks that are mostly not. So that said, we don't exactly have a ramp from a 2 to 4, so I would actually rather play this as a land. Sure, we get to ramp a bit more, but the caveat here being is that this is very vulnerable. Although, yeah, if this opponent playing a deck that has quite a few shocks, I would like. Well, this Zerda probably not gonna. It's actually gonna be quite relevant for Rada, and for making cycle cheaper. Cycle 2. We might have a Yadaro plan, but I'm gonna go off on Rada first. Let's put some creatures on the board. Next turn we get the Tangled Florahedron. I will probably just play the regular forest, cycle. Ominous Seas. Opponent's starting to get it down. Okay, as much as I want to play the Crawling Barrens off, let's cycle first. Gets us a Temple of Abandon. We need a red source, unfortunately, so... And now I'm inclined to actually play this. We're not gonna attack because our opponent could easily be shocked into Fisher Wizard. Opponent could just start drawing cards right now. So we need to hurry. We did cycle this twice, so we need to. So we got 2 more shots. We need to cycle this twice more. It seems easy at first until you try to go for the last one. And we're drawing a ton of lands. We get a Royal Eruption, which is actually not bad. Cycle first. Get that Royal Eruption. Oh no, we don't get the Royal Eruption. Ah, triggers. They're very funny. So we get the option to Kazul's Fury if we have to, but... This is just a weird one. I want to see if our opponent is willing to trade. Opponent is willing to trade. Next turn, we will get our 6th land. We will start going off with Rada. And I'm holding up Broken Wings. Kraken. You know what? Let's just put an end to the shenanigan here while we have it. Next turn, we will hit our 6 mana. We will start swinging with Rada, at least. We know we're gonna draw Yadaro next, so... Hit for 3. Let's get Zerda in hand. Now this is instant, so I'm gonna hold this up in case our opponent has some sort of removal. Because our opponent's gonna have a bunch of small creatures, but they're not going to have a shot against. We could have Kazul's Fury this one in response, but I'd rather get our opponent to start attacking with this guy. Fisher Wizard. Opponent forced to discard Cathartic Reunions. Well, makes sense. They're not benefiting from Ominous Seas anymore. Yeah, he's gonna go off on a big attacker. We're going to pass another Ominous Seas. Okay. So let's do some math here first. Okay. Yeah, let's play Zerda. Ooh, it messed it up. It's actually cost double red. Don't actually want the other Zerda. We already played the land, so we can't play this Crawling Barrens. Opponent starts chump blocking, which makes sense. Let's get those out of the way. We're also gonna do some chump blocking of our own as well, so we're gonna disrupt the and next turn we're not gonna make that mistake. Yeah, we take mana away for granted. So now our opponent has a huge Nadir Kraken. Trample and haste. We should be able to. Between these two, we should be able to outrun it. So, that said, the plan is just to swing with Yadaro enough times. We really need to hold this Kazul's Fury. But we have to also be careful. Our opponent could just have Jawari Disruption. They still have at least 3 more copies of that. At least we got rid of that first Ominous Sea, so it's less of a problem now. Opponent's gonna have to start spending their mana and drawing cards rather than doing other things. Yeah, that's pretty much what good Tangle Florahedron is. Opponent plays Ariel the Everwise. Hit a forest off the top. Have another Rada. We're gonna cycle. Give ourselves a Daro. Have an Iron Crag feat, but it's not relevant anymore. This is target creature can't block, but we can only make one creature unblock. So we're gonna pass. We can essentially make a 2/2 if we have to. It's only 4 mana to activate this. Radha herself doesn't have trample. We might need, if we're lucky, we can get the Titanout. No, Titanout Rexes in the green-white deck. We're gonna probably play that one soon. Opponent's gonna probably rush for this. Opting to play the. Well, they are way behind on mana. Opponent not gonna swing with the Nadir Krakens. Decline. 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 And that's it, end of turn. Okay, drew another Crawling Barrens. Yeah, don't really want the Weaselback red cap. We don't even have enough red mana sources. This doesn't have a way to pump. Oh wait. Hold on. You can only cast one more spell. Let's see if our opponent did not have the counter spell. And we did not have to go through all the shenanigans down here. Yeah, that's Kazul's Fury plus Zerda plus Rada. Very good stuff. So we've won three games. The blue-red deck is feeling very memey at this moment. It doesn't feel like the best iteration. We got three more decks to go through. So we're gonna go to the next deck, Social Hour. So this one's really about assembling a party. This one feels even more finicky than the blue-red deck. Then again, at least the creatures are pretty much good on their own for the most part. We just need to assemble some parts of a party. We don't need to assemble a full party. That said, okay, we'll keep this. But I'm not too happy with this one. We're gonna go turn 2 Stinger, turn 3 Cleric Cycle. Opponent's playing the white-black Knights deck. There's an Archpriest of Iona. This one does not need to be down early, so we're not going to play it early. We want to hit the 4th land so that we can start assembling creatures with Outlaw's Merriment. Opponent taking their time, so we should be fine. Okay, there's a Prepared Tactics. We have an Archpriest, so we could get Clerics here. The only thing we can't get are Wizards, so we're actually gonna double Granite Stinger. Swing first. Cycle the Cleric. Okay, we got our 4th land, so we have Outlaw's Merriment is live. And this deck does not have enchantment removal. Opponent has a Venerable Knight. Probably has another Knight to go down with it, or Fire Tactics. I can offer the Stinger as a trade, but we're gonna let that one go. So we're probably gonna lose this guy to another removal spell. Better theirs than just jumping to a Venerable Knight. And also we have the Practice Tactics, so we can snipe this one essentially. Opponent probably swings with Venerable Knight. They know we're not gonna try to block. So we make a Rogue. Wow, we do snipe it. And this is instant. Oh. I'm trying to remember what's more likely. We have... So it's target attacking or blocking. Yeah, opponent finds it very suspicious. I'm not surprised. But now we're in the position where we're just gonna try to outpace our... Ooh, Felidar retreats, so we're probably gonna see a cat. There's a cat. Opponent swings with Bell. We'll take the hit because we can't block this enemy menace. Oh wait, we don't have to take the hit. This is the correct time to drop this. We have a Spike Field Hazard, but it does nothing to the cat, so we'll leave it. Oh, we assembled the full party! So... Okay, not bad. We lost the full party now. Opponent has to drown at the last blood sheep, so has a few cards to get back. Probably gonna cycle. Put our opponent down to 4. Okay, opponent not confident they can catch up after that, so there you go. That's our 4th win. We still got 2 more decks to go through. This White Black Knights deck is gonna be one of them, so we're gonna run through these decks quickly. And we got a nice shiny Felidar Retreat, although I do like the Uzaki Chanwa Asobitai Kusokat regular version much better. So let's do the next deck, Lost Skyclave. So this is White Black Knights, very aggro, feels very vulnerable, but we should have a shot at it. Could be worse. At least it couldn't be as bad as the blue-red spells deck. Again, I'm saying it's possible that I don't know how to play it, or I kept a really poor hand. Also, so what we have here, we can get Wintermoor Commander, Wintermoor Commander. I guess we can keep this. We got a bunch of Wintermoor Commanders. We can. So we kind of want to set up more knights. Fabled Passage is fine too. We do. So when opponent playing colorless, so we might be in trouble. At least these guys have Death Touch and spare supplies. Okay, so we should get a little early aggro in. Heartless Act also helps, so we're gonna play this. Yeah, we're gonna play this on top. Play Wintermoor Commander. So at least these 2 knights are gonna support each other. Then next turn, I'm hoping to draw a regular land so I can just play Felidar Retreat normally. So we might be aggro, especially if our opponent's sacrifice drawing cards now. Okay, our opponent kept a very bad hand. So we never got to go off properly. If there's enough time, I'll revisit this deck again. But yeah, the colorless deck is good, but it needs a proper sequence. You can't just rely on getting everything down on time. I think our opponent was hoping to hit off their Obelisk, because that was their other mana source. It was very uncomfortable. In fact, I have to look back at that previous game I did. I think it's like, how did we survive that one? I know we were mana short there also. I was relying off the 2. Oh yeah, we were able to buy time because we had 2 brooms. Our opponent was spending the removal, so even if we were taking damage, our opponent was still net minus some resources. So, we're never gonna cast any of these at this rate, so and I'm gonna be praying for a proper mulligan. No, let's do a real mulligan. Okay, so Blade Master. Yeah, we're keeping this. I'm sad there's only 1 Kogla, but we're gonna have to bin Kogla. So the core Blade Master, we don't have actual equipment, but what this benefits from is the +1/+1 counter symmetry, which we don't quite have. So in fact, this is probably the worst deck to take up against our opponent here. We're going to be looking for Divine Arrows just to buff our Stormwild Caprador. And even then, our opponent does have legit removal. Well, at least we know our opponent only has some brooms. Mindstone, so our opponent's going on ramp. But this is not looking good for us. Yeah, this might be the case where we're the one who kept a bad hand here. Well, the other hand was even worse, and I really don't feel comfortable going down to 5. So that might have been correct. Okay, so this Crawling Barrens is going to start Hedron Archetype. Okay. And another Mindstorm. So our opponent's going to really go off at this rate, so... So we have So we have these guys, but we don't have the actual enablers. We're just one Ugin away from dying. Like, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. If our opponent actually has Ugin, it's game over. If our opponent has the Forsaken Monument, it's virtually over. It's just not immediately over. Skyclave Sentinel, okay, not immediately over either. That's still bad. Again, this is essentially an HD mechanic. I also have a deck that's similar to this, but it runs cards like Scavenging Ooze, which is very good against a particular meta. It runs the Swarm Shambler, so the creatures don't just fold to removal. At least we get a slight discount back. That said, yeah, we are way behind. Dreamstone Hedron. The fact our opponent hasn't started cashing these in for cards, well, he could cash this in. I expect our opponent to do that right about now. Opponent's not gonna swing because... oh, wow. Worst hand possible. I don't know if this was correct. Our opponent's loaded for mana, so I think drawing 3 cards might have been more correct. Yeah, because all you need is an Ugin and it's game over for me. We do have 6 mana. Heck, there are 2 more copies of this, but... the 1 more mana might not be so bad. Opponent's swinging. Opponent's signaling they probably have another Skyclave Sentinel, which would make sense. Yeah, the fight doesn't help. All our sacrifices for cards now. Yeah, this is this is quite over. I'm probably... let's see if we have enough time. We're actually close to the 1 hour mark, so I might revisit the white-black Knights deck, but yeah, I probably would have declined that one. That would save some frames. Yeah, speed. If our opponent's not happy with the 6 cards they have in hand, then okay, they're happy. I think our opponent has... yeah, they have the monuments, so we're not... and this is like, what, how much mana? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Our opponent can activate this twice. Well, opponent's not going for it. Probably need to start holding these back now. And we're about to probably get run over by a big creature. Again, this is the case of if we can't interact, we're in trouble. So let's take a look. Only going for the Dreamstone Hedron. Yeah, I mean, at least we're not gonna lose a permanent quite yet. Still not great though. We salvage a ruin. And a Forgotten Sun. Wow, opponent just went all out. They're gonna start going cards off, please. Yeah, that was horrible. Of course, we have to show our opponent the flood, but yeah, this was a case. I think this is a case of there are too many cards that rely on the counters but cannot give themselves counters. Yeah, if I were to rebuild this deck, it's essentially Swarm Shambler, Scavenging Ooze. The Basri Light Lieutenant is also a good fit here. It's actually kind of why they fit that in the white-black Knights deck. Inscription of Abundance is a way to get counters. But Vastwood Fortification, a very bad way to get counters. Divine Arrows really just for the Stormwell Caprador. Scale the Heights, it's so okay. Yeah, in reality, this is supposed to be a +1/+1 counter deck with the occasional trample counter, but it does a horrible job at it. So I might show you guys the version I'm running for standard. I'll probably save that for another time. But there we go. So definitely this is the Relics of Yesteryears, the deck to beat. This is probably the most fun one in the sense that it's kind of a snowbally deck. Then again, if you have to know what kind of hands to keep. You're not winning. If it was like 4 copies of Sorcerer's Bloom, 2 copies of Spare Supplies, it probably would be better. That said, use these guys early on just to buy you time. Don't assume that you're going to hit the 3 mana for the Unstable Obelisk. In fact, if you can start off with 4 mana and the Hedron Archive, or 4 mana and some mixture of these guys, you're pretty good. You should be able to ramp quickly. You definitely want a way to draw more cards, so Hedron Archive is a good one. Cryptic Caves on the long term is okay also. Yeah, if you're gonna play the deck, don't rely on the supplies. You want these cards. Like, at least this one, if you're not drawing cards, you can use it as a ramp. Like, in the off chance you're able to draw, say, one of these big spells, you're almost there. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, have a good week, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Actually, later I'm going to be on stream. Probably another draft. I'll see what comes up. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone.